Hello, friends, and welcome to StoryVibe English. My name is Mark, and I'm really glad you're here today. This podcast is about learning English in a simple way, and also learning how to live with more peace and confidence.
And I'm Jessica. Together, we share ideas and stories that are easy to understand, but also powerful for your life. We speak slowly, in clear English, so you can enjoy listening, learn new words, and also take something useful for your heart.
Today's episode is about something very important: how to stop comparing yourself to others. This is a problem many people face every day, maybe even without thinking about it.
That's right. We compare our looks, our jobs, our money, even our happiness. And when we compare too much, we often feel small, weak, or not good enough. But this feeling is not the truth. It is only a trick of the mind.
So, in this episode, we will look at why we compare, how it hurts us, and what we can do to stop. We will give you real stories, examples, and simple steps you can practice.
And remember, this is not just about stopping a bad habit. It's about starting a new way of thinking, one that gives you freedom, peace, and confidence in your own story.
Let's begin with a question: why do we compare ourselves to others? The answer is simple: our brain was built this way. Long ago, people compared to survive. They needed to know who was stronger, faster, or safer. This helped them stay alive. But today, this natural habit creates problems, because we don't just compare survival. We compare almost everything.
Exactly. In psychology, we say that comparison is automatic. The brain asks all the time, where am I? Am I better? Am I worse? This can make sense in some situations, but in daily life it often hurts. And social media makes it stronger. We see only the best parts of other people's lives, never the full story, and our brain believes that highlight is reality.
This is why so many people feel unhappy. They see someone with a bigger house, a better body, or more followers, and suddenly their own life looks small. But the truth is, they are not seeing the whole picture. They are only seeing one moment, and that moment is often carefully chosen to look perfect.
And when the brain focuses too much on these images, it creates a false story. You start to believe you are less valuable, even when you are not. This is the trap of comparison, and the first step to freedom is to see this clearly.
When we compare ourselves to others, the result is usually pain, not progress. Let me explain. Imagine you wake up and check your phone. You see one friend on vacation at the beach, another buying a new car, and someone else smiling in a perfect family photo. You look at your own morning, maybe just coffee and work, and you think, why not me? This small thought grows quickly, and soon your whole mood is heavy. But the truth is, you are comparing your normal life with someone else's best moment. That is not fair.
You are right, and psychology explains why it feels so painful. The brain reacts to comparison as if it is losing a competition. When you see someone ahead, your stress system turns on. The body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. This makes you feel nervous, weak, and sometimes even angry. But the problem is life is not a race. You are not running against your friends or the people online. Still, the brain thinks you are, and that's why comparison is so exhausting.
And the worst part is that comparison never ends. Even when you reach a goal, your mind quickly finds a new person who seems better. Maybe you get a promotion at work. You feel proud for 1 week. Then you see someone your age with a bigger title or higher salary, and suddenly your success feels small. Or maybe you buy a new phone. You enjoy it for a while, until your neighbor buys the latest model. The line keeps moving, and you never feel enough.
That's the dangerous cycle. Instead of enjoying what you have, you are always chasing something else. The brain begins to ignore your progress, your strengths, your victories. It only focuses on what is missing. And when this becomes a habit, it can lead to sadness, jealousy, or even depression. You stop living your own life and start living through the mirror of others. That is why comparison is not just a small problem, it is a thief that steals your joy and peace.
One big reason we suffer is because we forget everyone has a different path.
Yes, your life story is unique. You cannot compare your beginning with someone else's middle.
Exactly. I remember learning guitar. I felt bad when I saw experts online. But they had years of practice. I had only weeks.
That's a common mistake. We see the result, not the process. The brain believes it's the same race, but it's not.
So the question should not be, am I better than them, but am I better than yesterday?
Psychology agrees. We call it self-comparison. You compare only with your past self. That gives motivation instead of stress.
It's like walking. Some go fast, some slow, but if you keep moving, you reach your own destination.
And if you focus on your steps, you also notice your wins. That builds confidence and keeps you calm.
So the best competition is not with others. It is with the person you were yesterday.
And when you live this way, comparison loses its power because you see your own growth every day.
When we compare, we usually see what is missing. We say, I don't have that house, that body, that life. But we forget to notice the good things we already have. Gratitude is the tool that changes this. When you practice gratitude, you shift your attention from lack to abundance, and suddenly your life looks bigger.
That's true, and psychology shows the same. When you write down things you are thankful for, your brain produces serotonin, a chemical that helps you feel calm and happy. It's like teaching your mind to search for positives instead of negatives. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
I use a small notebook for this. Every night I write 3 things, sometimes it's something small like good weather, or sometimes something bigger like finishing a project. The next morning, I read what I wrote, and I feel stronger. My problems don't disappear, but they look smaller compared to the good things.
That's a great practice. I often suggest a gratitude journal to my students. Even if they write just 5 minutes a day, they see results after a few weeks. They report better sleep, less stress, and more confidence. Gratitude does not change reality, but it changes the way we see it.
So, gratitude is not only polite words like thank you. It's a habit that rewires your brain.
And when you live with gratitude, comparison becomes weaker because you realize you already have many treasures in your own life.
Today, most comparison comes from social media. You open your phone and suddenly you see perfect vacations, new cars, happy families. But what you see is only 10 seconds from someone's day, not their full life. The danger is that your brain thinks this picture is reality, and then you feel less happy with your own life.
Exactly. Research shows that heavy social media use often increases stress and lowers self-esteem. Our brain compares automatically with every photo. The problem is people only share their highlights, not their struggles. So we compare our real life, with ups and downs, to their carefully chosen best moments. That's why it feels unfair.
One way to protect yourself is to set limits. Decide how much time you want to spend online, and stay with that. Another step is to clean your feed. If someone's posts always make you feel jealous or sad, stop following. Instead, follow accounts that inspire, teach, or make you smile. You have the power to choose what you see.
I also recommend something called mindful scrolling. When you see a post, stop and ask yourself, how do I feel right now? If you feel inspired, it's good. If you feel worse, maybe it's time to close the app. And don't forget real life, the smile of a neighbor, a conversation with a friend, or even the taste of your coffee. These are the real moments that matter.
One of the best ways to fight comparison is to notice and celebrate your own wins. Many people think achievements must be big, like getting a new job or buying a house. But even small steps are important. Finishing a book, cooking a new recipe, or just keeping a promise to yourself, these are all victories.
That's true. From the psychology side, celebrating small wins trains your brain to feel progress. Each time you recognize a success, your brain releases dopamine, a chemical that makes you feel good and want to continue. So even small celebrations build motivation and confidence. It's like giving your mind a reward for growth.
A practical idea is to keep a win journal. Every evening, write down 3 things you did well that day. It doesn't matter how big or small. Later, when you feel low, you can open your journal and see proof that you are moving forward. This practice helps you focus on yourself instead of on others.
And don't be afraid to share your wins with supportive friends or family. When you say them out loud, the positive feeling grows stronger. Plus, people who care about you will be happy to celebrate with you. Over time, this habit changes your focus. Instead of looking at what others have, you learn to see and enjoy what you already achieved.
Many people are kind to others, but very hard on themselves. When they make a mistake, they use words they would never say to a friend. This self-criticism makes comparison even stronger, because you see your mistakes and others' successes.
Exactly. Psychologists call this the inner critic. It's that voice inside your head that always says, "You are not good enough." But research shows that people who practice self-compassion, being gentle with themselves, have better mental health and less stress.
So what does self-compassion look like in daily life? One method is to talk to yourself like you would talk to a close friend. For example, instead of saying, "I'm stupid for failing," say, "I tried, and it's okay to learn from mistakes." This simple shift changes your whole mindset.
Another technique is to notice when you compare yourself and then pause. Ask yourself, would I say these harsh words to my friend? If the answer is no, then don't say them to yourself. Replace them with something kinder, like, "I am learning, I am growing." Your brain will start to believe it.
You can also practice through writing. Try writing a short letter to yourself when you feel low. Write with kindness, encouragement, and understanding. This creates distance from the critic and builds a new, gentler voice in your mind.
And remember, self-compassion is not about ignoring problems. It's about facing them with care and patience. When you treat yourself kindly, you feel stronger, not weaker. And that strength helps you move forward without the heavy weight of constant comparison.
When we compare ourselves, it's usually about things society says are important, like money, beauty, or status. But here's the truth, those things may not even matter to you. What matters more are your personal values.
Right. Values are like your inner compass. They show you what direction feels right for your life. Maybe you value creativity, kindness, or family. When you focus on these, you stop measuring yourself with someone else's ruler.
For example, let's say you value helping others. You might not be the richest person, but if you spend time volunteering or supporting a friend, you are living your values, and that feels meaningful.
And neuroscience shows this too. When people act in line with their values, the brain releases dopamine, the reward chemical. That means living by your values literally gives you energy and joy.
A simple practice is to write down your top 3 values. Keep them where you can see them, on your phone, your mirror, or your desk. Then, when you feel jealous or stuck in comparison, ask, "Am I living my values right now?"
And if the answer is yes, that's success, no matter what others are doing. Living your values brings peace and confidence that comparison can never give.
So instead of asking, "Am I as good as them?" start asking, "Am I true to myself?"
Exactly. That question changes everything.
Social media can be a dangerous place for comparison. We see pictures of perfect vacations, beautiful homes, and smiling faces. But most of the time, those images are not real life, they are highlights, carefully chosen.
Exactly. Psychologists call this the highlight reel effect. People share only their best moments online, not their struggles. When we compare our normal life to someone else's highlights, we always feel behind.
That's why it's so important to limit social media use. One method is to set a timer, maybe 20 minutes a day. After that, log out. You'll be surprised how much free time and peace you gain.
Another tip is to curate your feed. Follow accounts that inspire you, teach you, or make you laugh, not ones that make you feel small or jealous. This way, your brain receives positive input instead of constant comparison.
Also, try replacing scrolling with something more active. Read a book, call a friend, or go for a walk. When you do this, you shift your focus from watching others to living your own life.
And the science agrees. Studies show that reducing social media improves mood, sleep, and self-esteem. Even small breaks can make your mind calmer and your heart lighter.
Remember, social media is a tool, not your reality. Use it with purpose, not as a measure of your worth.
And when you take control of it, comparison loses its power.
Today we talked about a hard habit, comparing ourselves to others. It can steal our joy and make us feel small. But we also shared many tools to fight it.
Right. We learned that focusing on your own journey, practicing gratitude, celebrating wins, showing self-compassion, and limiting social media can really change the way you see yourself.
The main idea is simple: your path is unique. No one has your story, your struggles, or your strengths. So why compare? You are already living a one-of-a-kind life.
And every small step counts. When you see progress in your own life, you build confidence. That confidence helps you stop looking sideways at others.
Remember, it's not about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday.
Exactly. If you keep this in mind, you'll find more peace, more energy, and more happiness.
So, friends, thank you for joining us today on StoryVibe English. We hope our talk helped you feel stronger and more motivated.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share this podcast with friends. And come back for the next episode. We'll keep learning, growing, and practicing English together. See you soon.